New dates, new week, new month, and of course, a packed sporty Monday, all for you. We take an in-depth analysis of the African Nations Championship CHAN 2024 that concluded at the weekend, with the curtains coming down in the most spectacular fashion here in Nairobi. But what lessons have we learned from the soccer extravaganza? Swila's Shot has all the details. Plus, what is President Ruto's place in the rise of Harambee Stars? Could sports turn out to be his legacy? In England, it's full-blown out battle as the Giants tussle it out for the coveted English Premier League title. It is just week 3 and there are casualties already. The title race shaping out thick and fast. The Bundesliga analysis also makes a return, and Bruce Amani will be joining us all the way from Bonn, Germany. Zita Jimoi, Steve Shitera, lawyer Japheth Munyendo are all here, and they're joined by the new kid on the block, Brian Ouma, who is part of the RMS Sports Center. Welcome to the program. I'm your host, Isaac Swila Tijan. But first to Studio B, where Jimoi is on standby.
I was at Kasarani, of course. Sisi wa Kenya lazima tutoke. Harambee Stars was not playing, but the stadium was three-quarter full. And makofi to everyone who came on Saturday, because hata mimi nilitoroka huko kwa media tribune nikaenda kupiga kelele ile side ingine, and you know the team that we were supporting. And the other, of course, I'll be giving you the outstanding players of CHAN and how many goals top scorer alikuwa na ngapi, and who is the gloves Golden Gloves who went with it at home. I'll be telling you all this on this side of the studio. And again, as we help Arsenal to heal their wounds, because nayo hii weekend waliona shida sana. Back to you, Swila.
At times they say the kettle calls the other side black. We'll tell you how later in the program. But to the question of the day, still matters CHAN. We are asking you, what are your memories of CHAN 2024, even as East Africa readies for AFCON 2027? What are your memories of the soccer extravaganza? I'm talking about CHAN 2024 that concluded here at Kasarani, here in Nairobi. What are your memories as we ready for AFCON 2027? We want to hear from you. You can X us at Citizen TV Kenya, at ZTGMoi, at Isaac Swila, at Steve Shitera. We'll be sampling some of them. We are also on Facebook. You can give your thoughts there, as well as text your feedback to 22422. Remember, the hashtag is Sporty Monday. Keep the conversation going. And our top stories, of course, the curtains came down on CHAN 2024 in the most spectacular of fashions, with the Atlas Lions of Morocco mauling Madagascar 3-2 in a thrilling final at the Kasarani Stadium. Take a look at the highlights of that action.
Lalaina now, working the ball out wide, in towards Gregas, who stayed central, up towards Feli, who has a shot, and it's an enormous shot! It's an incredible shot! It's an opening goal of wonder, a collector's item for Madagascar, and the dream is not only alive, but the platform for victory is there from the earliest minutes. Taken quickly, Baba into the area, the header is good, and Morocco equalise. The man with the most assists in this tournament has finally been rewarded with a goal. Youssef Mehri strikes with a brilliant header. Chance. Looking to be competitive. Great chance here, and that's tucked away by Morocco. Beautiful, beautiful build-up play again. The delivery has come from the right, and the man who's been leading the scoring charts for the longest time at this tournament eventually has goal number 5 at this competition. Oussama Lamloui strikes moments before half-time to overturn a deficit to help Morocco claim a lead. Need to keep their players calm. This is on here, and it's going to be poked home. And the winner against Sudan in the semi-finals has got Madagascar back on level terms. Big Club de Safi player in this Morocco squad. Here's Lamloui off his line. It's going to be a screamer, potentially to win it. Half a dozen goals in the tournament, and that is unbelievable. Play today, the 22-year-old left back from Achisaya. But he has his silver medal as well. He's in the footsteps of some very fine coaches but he's off to campaign in World Cup qualifiers next week. But for now, Dr. William Ruto, President of Kenya, Gianni Infantino, the FIFA President, being ushered by Mohamed Rabi Rimat of Morocco, receives the trophy. Champions for a third time, the most successful team.
There goes President Dr. William Ruto and President Dr. Patrice Motsepe and President Gianni Infantino and President Hussein Mohamed. Anyway, Steve, welcome. The curtains have come down. Maybe just hold on as we sort out your mic. I'll come to Zita.
Yes.
The curtains have come down after a very beautiful show.
Yeah. I know where Moroccans are very happy because we were behind Morocco at Kasarani.
You and who?
I know a lot of people here who don't want to say, but me, I was behind Morocco at Kasarani.
For any good reason?
For, you know, ukishapiga team, unajua huwezi kupiga tena. So you just have to have the soft spot for them. You ulishawapiga. So it was a very beautiful event, something that I know Kenyans will still remember and remember forever. And seeing the FIFA president here and seeing even Dr. Motsepe here, the president of CAF here, and just going through the development of football in Kenya. You saw our president, that is Dr. Ruto, giving out the deed to the FIFA president, telling them, hii ni shamba tumewapea, sasa jengeni. Jengeni, sasa shamba iko hapa, so money should come in and started construction of the offices, I think, offices here in Kenya. So it is something that is a positive, something that positive you're carrying forward. And even Dr. Motsepe saying that it is one of the successful events that he has attended around Africa, which is a good thing, a plus for us. And the fans of Kenya, it doesn't matter kama ni Kenya inacheza or it's Madagascar or it's Morocco or it's Senegal. We went to support each and every team. Talking about even in Nyayo, we were at Nyayo supporting even Algeria playing. We are in Nyayo even supporting even Congo playing. You know, there's that sportsmanship in every person here in Kenya. And that was very beautiful. I thought maybe the stadium will be empty. When you look at Tanzania and Uganda, the turnout was very low because maybe their team was not playing. But again, in Kenya, it doesn't matter. Sisi ni wale wase, lazima tufike.
Wakili, I want to talk tactics and this match against between Morocco and Madagascar. It was basically on knife edge, swinging either way. It could have gone either way. Actually, Morocco had quite a number of attacks, but before they knew it, Madagascar had taken the lead. Probably, from where you sit, what won it for Morocco?
I think it will be unfair for me to delve into tactics without thanking Kenyans who thronged the stadium, without thanking the government of Kenya, which played a very complimentary role, and without thanking the federation and the local organizing committee for the great roles that they played. Kudos to them. As I said previously, this has always been a precursor to the main event. We have had our lessons right, and in 2027, even though they have not sent me to speak on their behalf, I can speak with utmost confidence that it's going to be a success. Mm-hmm. Back to your question. Wow, it was a phenomenal match. That match was open. I think, in my view, at least 3 or 2 goals which were scored, it was out of punishing a mistake. You check on the second goal of Madagascar, and the second goal of the third goal of Morocco. It was all about punishing the mistakes. The goalkeeper's position, the goalkeeper's positioning in the third goal cost Madagascar. And this is a goalkeeper who previously in their group matches had been the man of the match.
Rightfully so.
Yes.
In 3 games is really
yes, and even saved penalties, a penalty or 2. Against Kenya. No, it was one. But I think his presence really threatened the taker. So to the charging of Kenyans. Now, we have to understand this. There are some fundamental things that Madagascar have gotten it right, just like Morocco. Madagascar's squad has been together for almost 3 years. This is a side which finished during the last CHAN. They completed as the third the second runners-up. That is number 3. And today they have gone a notch higher. They have now completed number 2. So there's something which works into fruition whenever you cobble a squad and works together, all time together. They have been together, they have been, and even the coach has been there for, I think, more than 3 years or 4 years. He has been there.
So I think consistency has played a part.
Consistency played a huge role. And then you realize, I noticed something about Madagascar that I equally picked from Angola. These guys do not necessarily rely on the flanks, even though their first goal came from the flank. But there are some kind of penetrative passes they intend to use at the center forward. And there's an instance. There's no panic, zero panic. There's composure, and passes are strung from the middle to the penetrative side of at the central position, so that the 9-man can score, can finish off. And this perhaps will work with good strikers like Ogam. For Morocco, Moroccans, they have a good advantage because, one, their league is really functioning, and they have the good facilities. You know, Sula, we have some of the best coaches, and these coaches undergo serious training. But with facilities, sometimes you cannot be able to execute some of the things that you've learned in school. The tools of trade are not only players, but also the facility where you're going to feature. So Moroccans have been doing this, and you remember they even hosted Kenya when we were playing there against Chad. So they are benefiting from a developed system, and therefore it's so easy for the coach to execute any of his instructions with his charges.
Brian, welcome to the program, your debut appearance.
Thanks so much.
And pretty new into the trade, and you are at the heart of it, CHAN 2024. Probably, what are your experiences?
First of all, let me start by appreciating Kenyans at large for showing up, throwing the stadium, feeling whichever the game, whether Kenya is playing or Kenya is not playing. And also, regarding the final, I supported Madagascar. It might sound
the opposite side.
It might sound unpatriotic, but I supported Madagascar, echoing Wakili's sentiment. Madagascar made their debut appearance in the CHAN tournament in the last edition, 2023, held in Algeria. That was their debut, and you could imagine they finished third place, beating Niger 1-0. Going into this Pamoja CHAN 2024 tournament, they pushed really hard, playing in Tanzania to manage. They came here for the quarters against Kenya, beat us on post-match penalties, and they made it to the semis, beating Sudan. They reached the final. I was quite inquisitive to find out what are these guys doing right, attending their training. You could see there's this cohesion in the team, there's everything they do in training, everything they do throughout, they have done throughout the tournament has stood out, and this is through their coach. In Madagascar, people have nicknamed him because Madagascar have these long names. Yeah, he's nicknamed Roro because of the tactical acumen he has got, or he's instilled into the team members. And if you ask anyone here, no one knows about the Madagascar League. No one knows about any player from Madagascar. But the tactical ability of those players, as Wakili said, they do not necessarily rely on the flanks, utilizing the wingers or
the direct.
Yeah, direct pass in midfield, box to box, find the talisman inside the box, score. And then if they get a chance to score that one goal, you'll find out that throughout the tournament, they score one goal and they hold throughout the match till it finishes. And you can take a case example for Kenya, Sudan, and...
Maybe your final thoughts on this, just 30 seconds. What are your experiences covering this international assignment, your first experience, and you are really at the thick of it?
Hey, it's been a really, really great experience. For me, I think... First of all, I do not expect to cover, it's a continental assignment, meeting the players, the coaches, my fellow journalists. And earning this accreditation for me was a plus, and I anticipate and look forward to even covering big assignments.
Absolutely. The future is bright. Keep going. Steve-O, you've been out and about, but I know you are supporting Morocco.
Morocco, of course.
Actually, I'd anticipated a Kenya versus Morocco final.
Correct.
And I think that prediction nearly came to pass.
Yeah.
I still feel we should have beaten Madagascar. We threw this game when it was ours for the taking. And I think we could have gone all the way to meet. It would have been a rematch.
We properly beat Madagascar. Were it not for the technical mistakes that the referee did not consider, because that Ogam goal was not reviewed by the VAR. That penalty that was awarded was never reviewed by the VAR. There is another penalty that was hurriedly taken during the post-match penalties, was never reviewed. So we are talking about 3 goals that were never analyzed properly and awarded to the satisfaction of Kenyan fans who had really filled up that stadium. That was our hope. And in all aspects, I would say that Kenya has won big. Why? One, because Group A lifted the trophy.
Group of death.
The group of death, true to the prediction of the Angolan coach, and he said, the winner of this tournament will come from Group A. Remember, Angola were in Group A, Zambia were in Group A, DR Congo were in Group A. So it means that Group A carried the champions. And you can clearly see that the path Madagascar took to the final, the game that they played against Kenya was really sketchy for their survival. But give it to them, because it is a team that has been together for a very long time, well organized. They don't take intimidation, because now they knew they beat Kenya, but through their analysis they knew how they will handle Morocco. But Morocco is a very tactical team. Even how they scored those goals against Angola, and Angola was the most attacking team. You can clearly see the shots on target Angola had against Morocco. Clearly tells you that this is a tactical coach. That's one, why Kenya won. Two, the Moroccan coach has been a very good friend of Benny McCarthy. As players, they met as coaches, and Morocco's, they were teammates, in fact, at Porto.
They won the Champions League.
They won the Champions League. So Morocco's win is Kenya's win because of Benny McCarthy. His former teammate has lifted that trophy. Then number 3, look at how Kenyans came. You could think that it is Kenya, Kenya playing.
But also, there's an aspect. This has never happened in this country since independence. We've never.
I was coming there. Yeah. I was coming there because I introduced the aspect of fans.
Yes.
And you started by saying that it might turn out to be President Ruto's legacy. In fact, it's already a legacy. President Ruto has actually picked it up from his predecessor in sports, because Moi was never succeeded in sports. At least we have seen now someone succeeding the late President Moi in sports, because Moi built Nyayo Stadium in 1983. He built Kasarani Stadium in 1987, and we hosted the All-African Games, yeah? So I think the last major competition we've ever hosted, now President Ruto has given us Chan. I can clearly say that he's the one who has really pushed for this thing. And you can clearly see that Kenyans are yearning for more. What has this done? It has elevated our football. We will never look...
And inviting to talk to that.
And status. We will never look at football the same way again. I can tell you for free. President Hussein Mohamed, work your way up. People who sit at that level at CAF are the ones who are bringing their teams up. Madagascar's leadership in football has been at the helm of CAF. So we cannot take it away from Madagascar. They have had
produced a CAF president.
They have produced a CAF president, and they have invested in football. So we cannot say that Kenya, we fell short. Kenya, for the first time in CHAN, we've reached the quarterfinals of the competition.
Which is history in the making, and of course, that's a build-up to AFCON 2027, which will be much bigger and better, and it will be right here in Nairobi. On Still Matters CHAN, as the football extravaganza went inside Kenya Sports Cathedral, the Kasarani, of course, fans turned out in large numbers. Security was tight, and so were some of the roads crossed. Our very own Gatete Njoroge was out and about and brings you the other perspective of CHAN in this report.
Oscar Ndege walks down the Safari Park footbridge with his daughter Gift Mbera. For the past month, this had become a cherished routine. Being avid football fans, the CHAN tournament offered the perfect opportunity for bonding, and they couldn't miss the excitement of the final clash between Madagascar and Morocco.
Si mafano ball Kuna saa mimi mtu wa Chelsea, huyu mtu wa Man U, kwa hao hivyo.
Having analyzed the strength of both teams, Ndege says Morocco has a strong chance of lifting the trophy based on their past performances. However, he notes that the Atlas Lions did lose to Harambee Stars during the group stages, adding an element of uncertainty to the final.
Morocco yenyewe niliona game yao na tucheza nao wakuwa mbaya. Sawa, hata kama tuliwapiga. Leo sasa tuko pande yao na naona nikawa Wakenya wengi wako pande ya Morocco, sawa?
Ndege and his daughter were just one of tens of families who defied all odds, including taking long detours to reach the stadium and experience the excitement of the finals. Despite Harambee Stars being knocked out in the quarterfinals, many fans wore the team's jerseys as a show of patriotism. Kenyans also shared their thoughts on the unifying spirit of CHAN and its impact on the nation.
Nimelani vitu mingi, kuna tunapenda mpira deeply, kuna watu kwa wanakuja na familia zao, na pia nimelani that tunaweza kuwa na mpira bila fujo. Tumeona timu mingi sana za Kenya hapa pale wakati wa local games watu wanapigana, lakini hizi tumekuwa na utulivu kabisa.
Tumepiga hatua nyingine kubwa kimchezo, mpira, naona tunaenda mbali.
My name is Fatma. I'm from Comoros. So we are here to support Morocco, and we are so happy to be here.
Unlike previous occasions when commotion at stadium entrances had landed Kenya in hot water with fines running into millions, the organization at the CHAN final was top-notch. Security officers formed the first layer, frisking fans before they passed through a second checkpoint, and finally verifying tickets at the main entrance before allowing access to the stadium. Gatete Njoroge, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Of course, that's our Gatete Njoroge giving us the other perspective regarding CHAN. I'll come to you, Brian, and this is the aspect of security. I think at the beginning we had a challenge with this, and we are fined for that. But I think we learned our lessons, and during the final, everything was up to scratch.
Yeah, I think after the sanctions that were imposed by CAF to us after the match against Morocco, I think we ought to have picked some lessons on how we the organization of the whole tournament in terms of ticketing, in terms of security, in terms of traffic. I think going towards the final, everything was right, and it also gives a room for improvement come AFCON 2027. The briefs given by the Cabinet Secretary Salim Mvurya regarding the funds, how the ticketing happens. Of course, he expressed his opinion that the ticketing is done by CAF, but I think that's one major issue that needs to be looked at come AFCON 2027, because that's the sole, that's the major issue, because traffic here can be controlled. Security, I think we've got enough security apparatus to manage funds to and from the stadium. So I guess my only issue will be the ticketing moving forward to AFCON 2027.
And Zita, probably you are out there in the fan zones every single match day, And I think in terms of the security measures, this helped address the trouble we had at Kasarani when fans overran security barricade, jammed into the media tribune, forceful entry into the stadium, and CAF were not very, very pleased with that. And I think we hosted Musonye here, the chair of the local organizing committee, and what he said, I'm going to draw a very conclusive report, and the recommendations he's going to make there. And this will inform how we proceed to 2027, which again should get us well prepared.
I think the fan zone really helped, actually. I think that we will have started them early with the first match when Harambee Stars was playing, so that we don't get all these fines of 10 million shillings. But again, we are having again another game this week. That is on Friday. We are playing against Gambia in the World Cup qualifiers. If we do not control the crowd again, because a lot of people will come to watch this game. If we do not control the crowd again, if we don't put out the fans on watch parties, we are going to get the same problem. The Kenyans have shown that they have passion in supporting the Harambee Stars. They have passion in supporting these teams. But again, I think we need going forward. We need to be having these watch parties coming even to the FC Leopards playing against maybe Gor Mahia, the biggest team, actually the biggest games in the KPL Premier League. If we do the fan zone, we will get more fans watching these games. And then something else is like, I need to pose this question to the FKF president, that is Hussein Mohamed. How are we going to convert these fans that love to watch our boys play, these fans that love to watch football, to come to the stadium? How are we going to do, the means that we're going to use for these fans to come to the stadium to watch these games? Are we going to use the entertainment means, whereby if you come this year, we have entertainment and it will be going on? Are we going to use what? Are we going to use them? Are we going to use the marketing part? Talking about the marketing part, the digital people really did a very good job in doing what? In marketing the African National Championship, that is CHAN. Because in every page you are opening, everything was about CHAN. Everything on social media was about CHAN. There was no anything that was trending, but there was something that was trending is about CHAN. They need even to bring the journalist very close to them so that they can sell our league outside there, starting even with the content creators.
Wakili, and I want to, as we wrap up this topic on security arrangements, one thing that stood out, of course, there are issues with fans not getting the tickets or not enough for the market demand. Supply didn't meet the demand. But look at it this way. On match day, you'd go there. They just scan your ticket. They know whether you have the right ticket, and you walk straight to your seat without much of a fuss. Compare this with the local Premier League, where we have bouncers like Shitera at the gate trying to control how you get in there. And some of these revenues are lost. And the security. I saw families or men and women bring forth their kids. It was more of a family day outing. That's how sports should be, how football should be in our stadia. I think this is a vital lesson, as Zita says, that the Kenyan Premier League clubs and even the leadership of the federation must draw going forward. There are a lot of lessons to carry going forward.
Yes, I do agree with her in entirety. You know, a stadium, when you visit a stadium or when you go to a stadium, you're not just going to watch a football match. The stadium appearance or show up is always about an experience. And that's why the entertainment must be good. There must be at least accessible food points or snacks points. And for those who take mvinyo or they take some poison, they also visit there. The stadium experience is so good. I wish maybe, you know, I was, in my wishful thinking, I was imagining perhaps if there could have been a train so that people can access Kasarani or even Talanta Stadium through a train. That is what is done in other developed sporting jurisdictions.
Yeah, that's Vision 2080 or 100.
No, Vision 2030. You remember, by the way, sports,
we won't achieve it now.
You know, sports is a pillar in economic development in the Vision 2030.
Vision 2030.
Yes, and that's what I think the president is trying to hurriedly do to attain. And our economies, after this, I think we should have a discussion on the impact of CHAN on our economy. Maybe we may want to probe the figures. I'm not yet done. Now, this should be a very good lesson to the local Premier Leagues in terms of organization of the local matches. I think we should now, I do not think, in fact, it should just be automatic. We should stop match day sales of tickets at the stadium.
And most at match venue.
Yes,
that
at match
should
venue.
never happen.
Remember the incident we had where we lost the Stampede, and whenever we had Stampedes, even where there are no loss of lives, the issue of selling tickets on the match day we should now
I think Wakili should also guide us, because I think the decision by CAF was somehow harsh to Kenya, and I hope that the appeal will go through, because
what do you mean
the sanctions? Because yeah,
but it did bring us to our senses, Steve.
It did.
Yeah,
we dropped the ball.
I'll comment on it.
We dropped the ball here, and I think coming out tough on us made us wake up from our slumber, and it made the final very, very.
Let me break it down. You see, it's like kuenda ushago, in that ushago setting, and then we invite watu ushago to a buffet at a 5-star hotel in Nairobi. That is exactly what will happen. We've never had an opportunity to host such a thing. We've never had an opportunity to experience such a thing. It was our first time. So yo ushamba ndio tulikuwa nayo. So that's why I'm saying CAF was a bit harsh. If they did this to Morocco, if they did this to
Chitera, let me give perspective.
That will
we don't
okay.
have much time, but I want you to answer this.
Because look, the tickets.
I want you to answer this.
Can I respond?
Fanzone, just hold on, Wakili. For the local organizing committee, organizing fan zones should have been their plan from the onset.
From the start.
It shouldn't have been a knee-jerk reaction like we had. This is what happens when we are organizing international tournaments. Be it World Cup, CAF, CHAN, this should have been the plan. But it was there, it was not implemented. We waited for things to go wrong for us to revert to that.
That's okay, because what I was explaining is no fan was trying to fight. There was no, it was just the access. So the problem was not for the fans. They had their tickets. But at 3:30, they have not accessed the stadium. So that was the problem. It's not that they were gate crashing, you see. So all those fans who were trying to get over the wall had tickets, but because of security breaches, they were not cleared to enter the stadium. So fans had no problem. So that's why I'm saying the punishment was a little bit harsh. They would have investigated what brought
I think, Sila, the first game we were with you at the stadium, and something that we talked here about was about how the gates were closed when the fans were leaving, and when the stadium was full, the gates were closed, and there was a lot of gates that were open for fans even to get in.
And that's how the security measures
that's why
yes.
that's when everything started escalating, because unanieka hapa kwa line na niko na ticket.
But again, it has brought that attention, because we usually could see FIFA president at the next door in Tanzania. You could not pass by Kenya. But it has brought a FIFA president to Kenya. It has brought the whole football administration in the world to Kenya. That is a very big plus. And in fact, that tourism appeal now is on. So the government should leverage on all these positives to ensure that Kenya is now seen positively in the eyes of the world. Because now we've hosted the who and who's in football, the top level leadership in football in Kenya. So that is a very big platform that we really need to pick up and
in 30 seconds.
And don't drop the ball.
In 30 seconds, because he touched on something that has a legal impact. We have the CAF security regulations, which stipulate on widely on ticketing and the holding capacity, the entrance capacity. So there was some sluggishness. By the time you see a disciplinary committee of CAF is sanctioning a member, then there's some sluggishness which has been demonstrated to the disciplinary committee.
So how far is the appeal?
No, Kenya did not lodge any appeal. And the appeal is supposed to be...
But Musonye said. Musonye said that there is an appeal.
I do not even think Musonye was... unless he was privy to, because Musonye cannot appeal. It is the federation which is appealing. So unless the information was shared to him, I am not sure if Kenya appealed. I would
They
have.
were okay with the
sanction.
I don't, and you know, remember, this is not the first time Kenya we are being sanctioned. At Nyayo Stadium, sometimes when we've hosted some matches, we've been sanctioned on some events. Even when there's a time we were sanctioned because some fans would stand up there, and then they will cause a delay of the start of or resumption of a match, and then it will still be.
That's why I'm insisting on Tuesday and Friday we should have the same watch party zones, because it will happen again, because everyone wants to come to watch Harambee Stars after how they performed.
Again, guys, you have to move on.
It's important to mention this.
You can bring it in the next topic.
Okay.
As we talk about CHAN and security readiness, we had FIFA President Gianni Infantino in town, and of course President Ruto rolled out the red carpet for Harambee Stars after sailing to the quarterfinals, and President Ruto made pledges regarding the affordable housing for the boys, and they're gonna get 2 bedrooms each, all those players, and of course they're gonna pay 50% of it. That's around 1 million. Let's take a look at how this event went down at State House.
Ladies and gentlemen, a great round of applause for Harambee Stars.
The video. Maybe soon he might be joining the team to be in the field. You never know. Wonderful.
The process of raising our team for AFCON 2027 begins today. And I have agreed with FKF that process is going to start from the grassroots, from the bottom up. So, Mr. President, you have my instructions and marching orders, working with the ministry, for you to build for us a solid, professional team that will make us win AFCON in 2027.
That's President Ruto speaking to Harambee Stars players and technical bench officials at State House, Nairobi. Brian, I want to come to you. A big motivation, and of course, we've accredited the president, and fairly so. He's played a big part in Harambee Stars' impressive run. The cash tokens, I think for a long time, these players feel football can actually change one's life. It's not just a pastime activity. You know, growing up, our parents would whip us. If you are playing football, it would be wewe unacheza tu badala usome kwa bidii.
Like me, yeah. My talent was diverse.
That's why you are here. But talk to the president. How integral? We say the sports could turn out to be his policy, to be his legacy project. And look at it now. People look at football differently. Mm-hmm. Those players are 6 million richer. They're gonna get 2-bedroom apartments, the affordable housing. Actually, out of that 6 million, they're just going to pay 1 million. And he said you can pay it as mortgage. How phenomenal, how big is this?
I think it adds an extra motivation to players, not only players featuring for Harambee Stars, but also other sports. It's also commendable for President William Ruto, because as it has been mentioned, sports will be a legacy project for William Ruto across all the departments in his governance. Why do I say so? Harambee Stars featured in in the CHAN Group A matches, and plainly, I can say it without reasonable doubt, without the motivation from the president, even without the cash rewards, the president being there, attending the trainings, pushing them, giving them words of support, really played a lot in them conquering Group A. And moving forward, I think these reward packages, if they are to be still there, should be probably extended to other sports disciplines.
Yeah. We are talking about volleyball.
Yeah, because I think credit to Harambee Stars, yes, because many Kenyans did not expect them to be here, but the president has laid the foundation this will be something that it will be remembered in years. So it will be wise of him and also the advisors at the ministry that these reward packages will be extended, whether they, regardless of the performance. Of course, Kenyans expect good performances from our sports team, but this motivation from the highest office on the land really plays a lot.
It plays a lot, and I want Ishitera to bring some view here.
But, okay, I just want to add on what he's saying, and then the federations of these games too. They should sit down and start thinking on how even to grow their games. Talk about tennis, talk about volleyball, the way he's saying, talk about taekwondo, talk about now football, as much as they've already been given this man. Now the federation needs to take every step to ensure that their teams are performing well.
By the way, most of these federations perform. It's just that they're not overly hyped. Like, I'll give you an example of Kabaddi. We are the African champs. And in the world, globally, we are ranked number 3. These teams perform. It's just that football is the most popular sport in Kenya, and it's spoken about. You'll easily cover a football match or result as opposed to Kabaddi, which you do not even...
Actually, football is the common man's game. That's why it's the number one sport. Steve, this technical perspective and the headache Benny gonna have going forward, we're going to see players hungry to get the cup, to get call up to the national team, because they've started there and look, this has been my colleague at Gor Mahia. He's now 6 million richer. This has been my colleague at Tusker. He's now on the brink of signing a contract with an Australian Bundesliga side. That's how playing for the national flag or for the badge gonna be. And you look at the squad Benny called for the World Cup qualifier. The bulk of it are the players who turned out in Chan. And that's a loaded lesson even to our players who are overseas, that it won't be a walk in the park. Even if you're playing for a big club there, you must earn your stripes, because the boys playing locally are more than capable.
In fact, I still repeat that the president has not only revived football, he has been doing that across all these other sporting disciplines. Remember, when Faith Kipyegon broke the record, Wanyonyi, they were awarded by the president. It's only that football had not gotten that platform. Now, it got that platform, and the president came in full throttle to ensure that these boys perform. In fact, I keep on repeating that since Kenya was born in 1963, we've never experienced such a thing. It's a milestone. The president has overly achieved. And I keep on repeating, you don't need to concentrate where you are not recognized.
Absolutely.
Football is recognizing you.
But what role does it play now in the...
Now, you can clearly see the role it's playing. An omission of a player is already bringing that hit. When Austin Odhiambo was omitted from the squad, the hit was on that why has he not been called up, and everyone throwing in his or her thought as to why. Then that is the instant reaction that what the president has done is doing, because people think that even after the Gambia's game, the president will acknowledge these boys, and I am 100% sure the president will, because even after falling to Madagascar, the president kept his promise that I will give you the houses, yes, but let's share, because you did not keep your part of the bargain.
Which is laudable.
Which is laudable, and I can clearly say that we are on the right track. What the president should do, and I think that is what other developed football jurisdictions are doing. President William Ruto should really protect the national team coach, Benny McCarthy, in as far as his welfare is concerned. And you can clearly see now he has marked his territory. He has stamped authority. Any busy bodies around Harambee Stars should keep off. Completely. We've been here with you.
Can you repeat?
Let me repeat.
Yes.
We've been here with you since Kenya was born in 1963. Those are how many years? 62.
62, yes.
We have never come this far. So any busybody around Harambee Stars, please keep off.
Fantastic. But for the record, Steve was not born in 1963. Wakili, I want us to wrap up this, and I want you to address this. There is the elephant in the room.
Yes.
No one is talking about it. This is Austin Odhiambo. From where I sit, I think creating room for such speculation, because we are reading all manner of gibberish on social media from this to that. Austin, let's give it his credit. He's a star player. You can't take that away from him, both at club level and even at the national team. My thinking is, because of what's going on, he started the first 2 games, scored 2 goals. He was phenomenal. All of a sudden, he was on the bench. And of course, we respect Coach Benny's choice. He's the one who makes the call. But then again comes World Cup qualifier. A player who was starting your first 2 games and scoring goals is now not good enough for call-ups. I think that talks to something that's not right. I think professionally, the Federation should have clarified the matter. Don't you think so?
I think so, and I also, you know, I'm now a scared man. You ask me a question which may likely contradict the aspirations of the coach, and there's a decree which has been made here that any busybody who attempts to interfere with matters I do not want to be dealt with the Shitera, because my sentiments may provoke his attention. Now
he's being diplomatic.
Hold on, Zita. I have the question was posed to me. Sula, the first time Benny summoned some players, there was hue and cry about the omission of certain players. Marvin Abuire, we complained about Odongo, who is Brian Mishira.
The letter came and met the mark.
He let on. But in between, Benny said this. And I even remember I said he should visit Kisii and watch some matches. But Benny said, I cannot visit, and I'm not here to please anyone. Benny said that, and he has delivered. We are not waiting for, if it takes Benny not to please some of these persons for him to perform.
But from a communication perspective, we are talking about crisis communication here.
You see,
is it not prudent for the Federation? Because what happens in other jurisdictions?
Yes, I know.
Actually, a coach, the German national football team coach or Spanish coach, they'll call a press conference and announce the call-ups live, even on television.
Yes.
I'm not saying that's what should have been done. But my concern is here, there are not very good speculation regarding a very key player.
And I think it was clarified, because now there are three players who are omitted conspicuously.
Actually,
Marcelo Ouma, Bajaber, and Austin Odhiambo. Bajaber, he said injury. Ouma, he said injury. Austin, he said tactical. Technical. So I will go by what Wakili.
Let us just believe him. And furthermore,
I just wanted to say what Shitera has said. When the coach, we asked him the first time, why did Austin stayed on the bench for the 120 minutes? He said it's tactical, and it was a decision from the technical bench. So if it was a decision from the technical bench, these things it can go either way. Maybe the coach or the technical bench are trying to protect the player come up with the decision, why are we dropping this player? Or maybe they've decided just everything to sink and as they say, it's a tactical decision. Let it be a tactical decision, because if we dig, what if the player get exposed if something went wrong, maybe behind?
I'll take you to my historical reference. Anytime in 1997, when the late Renard Fabish dropped Henry Motego, I was not at that level. But people wanted to storm the camp to eject the coach. You remember?
Yes, I remember.
You remember?
He actually not only Henry Motego, he overhauled the whole squad of Uganda Civic.
He only remained with Musa Otieno as the captain. And what did he do? He went on to achieve historical information that you will never get it anywhere. Kenya drawing against the Super Eagles in 1998.
We need to go to the break. 10 seconds.
Yes, 10 seconds.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd say this. The national team is so important than an individual.
Yeah, correct. Sure.
Unnecessary speculations are not going to head us anywhere. But that does not mean the coach should not be held accountable or responsible. But at the right forum and in the right manner.
Time. Yes.
Absolutely. These men here being diplomatic, but in communications, there is the unsaid word, or which is never written. Of course, we are going to support Benny McCarthy all the way, and we are going to respect all the decisions he makes, and we are going to support him. As Steve says, all the busybodies, keep off Benny McCarthy, lay off your hand, Benny McCarthy. But I'll tell you for a fact, there's more than meets the eye in Austin Snub. A legendary, or I would say a colorful keeper, we had it in the early years, the mid-90s. His name is one Matthew Otamax. He had a bright, bright future. He's gone public and wrote what befell him. I hope all our players will stick to the script, give their best, and of course, we want them to go to Europe and other professionally well-run leagues. But for Benny, we are proud of you. We're going to support you, and we hope you are going to be here soon just to clarify more. Of course, this is Sporty Monday. Before we take a break, we are asking you, what are your thoughts? What are your memories of CHAN 2024, even as we head to 2027 AFCON? So we want to hear from you. 22422. You can also X us at ZTG Moi, at Isaac Swiller, at Citizen TV Kenya. When we return, ZT will tell you who are the standout players at CHAN 2024. Not to forget, Chitera's Bundesliga. Stay tuned.